Hi, my name is Rachel. I am a 33-year-old pediatric nurse practitioner living in Scottsdale, Arizona. I have always been very active growing up through high school, college, working out, knew how important it was, and I've always been somebody who struggled consistently with my weight. My weight has fluctuated up and down over the years. And when I was in my 20s, I really felt like I could make a little cut or change and be able to lose the pounds that I dropped without a problem. And once I got to my 30s, I could no longer make any change and see any results. And I was convinced at that point that I was just meant to stay at that weight for forever. It wasn't until I went to a beer festival actually in February of 2018 that I was looking at pictures of that day, and I saw a picture of myself and I absolutely hated everything about it. I hated the picture. I couldn't recognize myself. Living in Arizona where it's hot 90% of the year, you can't hide under baggy clothes. None of my clothes fit. I think I had one pair of shorts that fit and a pair of pants. Everything else was too tight. And it was at that point in time that I knew that I needed to make a change. I'd been following Tina's blog and her Instagram for the past couple years and never really bit the bullet and made the leap to try her macro plans. I always thought that it was too expensive, making any excuse under the sun. And looking back at it now, it was really because I didn't know what was all included in her macro coaching and plans. And I've tried counting macros in the past and never stuck with it. So I do a challenge, an online group challenge, count my macros for that period of time. And then as soon as the challenge was done, I'd go right back to eating the way that I was eating before. And I'd slowly seen whatever progress I made lose, and I'd go back up to that weight. And once I saw that picture of myself from the beer festival, I knew I had to make a change. And I initially started in April of 2018 with a macro transformation challenge at my gym here in Arizona. And I saw some results and learned some great skills and wanted to continue seeing that. And then I immediately left that challenge and decided to start working with Tina, and I bought her macro plan. And I started with her 12-week macro plan. To me, I knew that realistically, it's the progress over time that's super important. And I have consistently been counting macros now for the past 1.5 years. My weight and progress came super slow. I think sometimes I wouldn't lose any weight in the weekly check-in, and other times I'd maybe lose a half a pound. And when you look at that over the course of a month or a couple weeks, you're not going to see much progress. But when you look at it over the span of a year, that turns into something significant. And over the past 1.5 years, I have kept off the 35 pounds that I've lost. And I am not really weighing myself anymore. I may be up a couple pounds, and that's okay with me. But I am continuing to take the progress pictures. And I never really noticed or thought before how important the progress pictures were. But truly, when I look back at the pictures from when I first started counting macros to now, my body composition is just completely different. And it's crazy how much more toned and defined I am. My clothes are continuing to fit better. And looking at those progress pictures, I now see how important it is. So if you're gonna do a plan, take the progress pictures. And it's really cool to see your progress and over time. I think Tina was a perfect coach for me because I think she truly lives by the name of her blog, Carrots and Cake. She eats healthy and she enjoys eating healthy food, but she also enjoys treats and indulging and dessert. And that's the type of person I am. I knew that when I was starting this whole process that I wasn't going to cut alcohol or sweets or chocolate, because those are all things that I knew that as soon as I was done with the challenge that I was going to go back and eat those. And so Tina taught me invaluable skills on planning for these things in my day. If I knew I was going to go out for pizza and ice cream at night, save my carbs for later in the day and eat protein, heavy foods, and vegetables earlier in the day to be able to have room for that fun day in my macros. I have really developed a wonderful relationship with Tina and look at her like one of my close friends and continuing to check in with her over time and my progress. Her recipes are amazing. I would highly recommend her one-on-one macro coaching to anybody who's looking to make a change. and to invest in themselves. Looking back at it now, the cost of a macro plan may be high in comparison to other just online macro calculators, but it's the lessons over time that are completely invaluable to me to learn. Not to mention her recipes are amazing and easy to make. I'm not a meal prepper, and her recipes have just been super fabulous, and we continue making those on a regular basis, and my husband even enjoys them too. She checks in with you every week and adjusts your macro plans as needed if your energy level is low, if your performance in the gym is lacking. And I think that that's all super important things to look at when you are looking for a macro coach, that they're going to invest that time in you. And I truly felt like she cared about my progress. Overall, I'm super happy with working with Tina. I would highly recommend her and her macro plans for anybody that is just looking to make a change, invest in themselves. She will give you all the resources and tools that you need to succeed.